Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. It's finally time. We're hitting the road. I can't wait, but let me show you what I've done to the van first. There's been a lot of changes. Okay, ready to leave, and some changes have been made to the van. Everything is in stow and go right now, so nothing falls off into the floor. I have so many more groceries going on. I have 4 power stations. I have the All Power, I have the Alpha ESS, the new Jackery V2, and the Vatid. That way I can power all the things I need, including the air fryer, which is on top. I also have my cords and everything up here, and then regular things that I always have in the shelf are in the shelf tucked away. Over on this side, I have a couple of jackets because it may be chilly at night. I have my bags. Everything is all good to go. This side is where I made the biggest changes. Right here, I have 2 refrigerators. One that's going to be a dedicated freezer, one that is going to be a regular refrigerator. Both of these are by Set Power. Both of them are fridges that I feel confident with because I've used them or because I believe in the brand. I'm so excited. I have extra water here, my ladder, my sunshade, everything's good. I also have an extra fan in here. Everything is tucked into its space. Now the fun thing is these are in their new space over here, and you can see they have plenty of room to vent. They also have a little mat on top of the bottom one so that they can sit without moving. It is a mat very similar to the one that I have down here. I thought this was a good one because I never have this thing slip around, even on the carpet. I've put things on top of it. They do not move. So I tested it out, and so far so good. But if I am going on a super bumpy mountain pass, I can always pull this down and set it right here as I'm doing that on my travels. So that's really nice. The All Powers can charge off of the roof while I drive, and then both of these can be spot charged through either the alternator or if I go to a location where I can plug them in. Everything has a cord so it can be charged numerous different ways. Over here on the side, I have some of my favorite adventures with my favorite people. I have my friend Kenny over there who's going to be getting his van very soon. I have, of course, Ladybug out, my friend Anika, and then I have a picture of me and Riley on one of our adventures. The Road Pro fan, of course, is a dual fan. It's going to keep me nice and cool on these travels. Here on the side door, I can just kind of keep my little trash can and stuff, but I also keep a hat, my fire extinguisher, and my headlamp, just because I might need those items more frequently than others, so this just makes it easier. Up top, I have the solar, and then the roof box, which has all my other adventure gear in there. It's good to go. It's ready for everything. Best part is I have little cubbies like this back one kind of throughout the van where I can stash stuff, including my blankets, which stay concealed until I actually need them, allowing me to have an extra pillow, an extra blanket, a cooling blanket, and then a few other items that I need if I'm going into cold weather, but that don't need to be all up in the van all the time. In between my bed and the wheel well, I have this little pad, so whenever I'm in the van, I can actually use this on my knees to help me out a little bit. That makes life a lot easier. Of course, under the shelf, we have all of our like cleaning supplies and things that I don't need all the time, but I do need them sometimes. So this is a good place to tuck them away so they don't move around in the van. All in all, everything's in a good place. Everything has a spot, and I am ready to take off. So I'm about to cool off my fridges and then bring my food out, and then it's time to hit the road. Okay, adventurers, we are off and away, and I can't wait. I have picked a destination. We are headed in that direction, and I just left out of my base camp. Some things are riding a little weird right now, but I'm okay with that because we're gonna have a learning curve of fun. I'm trying out some new things on this adventure, and every time I come back to my base camp, I kind of do a reset where I figure out how I want to proceed. And on this trip, it was really important for me to make some big changes just so that I could see if I could do it. And so it's going to be fun. I have a freezer and a refrigerator because I wanted to cut down on some of my spending. And in doing so, I brought along a lot of really great groceries, which I'll tell you about later. So this is going to be an interesting day. My goal is to drive about 7 hours today, which it may not be the most fun drive, but it's definitely going to be a real productive drive as I get closer and closer to cool weather, which is my main objective because I have been boiling. Starting off on this adventure today, it is 88 degrees this morning in Texas, and this is before it gets to the hottest point of the day that I'm leaving. And the problem isn't that it's 88, the problem is that it's 65% humidity, so that feels much more undesirable than just the temperature itself. If you've seen my other videos, you know I've been melting. I've been just outright melting. And this year's supposed to have a record heat wave. So I was like, peace out, Boy Scout. I am Audi 5000. And so we are about to actually get to the highway area and get closer to that, I think. That's the best way to look at it. But first I gotta stop at this train. Yep. Normally I would say maybe some of these are mine, but I have no packages that I am waiting on, actually, except for like one that it's gonna be here whenever I get back. So it's fine. Which means whenever I get back, I'm gonna have something to show you guys, but that's gonna be a ways down the line because I am gonna be gone for a while. I have about 2 months of travel that I can do before I have to be back here. And in that time, I plan on exploring all sorts of things. I even brought a couple of the books that I've accumulated over the time with like really cool things to see so that I could do some like fun, interesting, different things. And so, it's gonna be wild. This is my breakfast this morning. I am obsessed with these. I love them so much. They're just so easy to eat and they're filled full of deliciousness. So I'll have that and then I'll wait until lunch and do it all over again. I have some things I needed to clear out of my fridge, so I'll be eating like a little lunch that came from my fridge. So we'll see what happens, but I am excited to be back on the road. I'm excited to share all the adventures with you guys, and I hope that you are just as excited to see the places that I'm going, because ultimately that's the goal, is to share all these cool places in hopes of you guys getting out here and looking at some of them yourself. If you can't make the trip, I hope that my videos do justice to them so you can feel like you're a part of it or you've learned from it, and that's always the goal here on the channel. Time to make our first stop, and it is at a Walmart, well, a Murphy gas station. So I needed to take a stretch. I need to get something to drink also. Kind of having some highway hypnosis early on in this. I'm pretty tired. It's just the oppressive heat has just knocked it out of me already. And so I thought this was a good time for me just to stretch, get something to drink, and fuel up, because I don't like to get below half a tank, and I'm a little bit below that right now. Okay, so altogether 25 at the pump, $2.72 for gas, not too bad. And then $5.60 inside. And of course I'll scan my receipts always on Fetch to get some extra points, which I then convert into gift cards, which I then fuel my office days with. You can get gift cards from Fetch for a variety of things, but one of the things I have personally decided to do is put them into Starbucks cards, because that's one of the places that I find Wi-Fi consistently. And so what I'll do is I'll use those free money points to fuel up my Starbucks, and then I can buy something with that, so it's no money out of pocket on those days. And that has saved me a lot of money since I've started doing that, because usually I get one drink, maybe 2 drinks while I'm there, and depending on how long I need that office day. But on that day I do everything I need to do, so I don't have to have another office day for another week. And so once a week I'm spending like $10 to $12 at Starbucks, but I'm doing that with free money that I get from scanning my receipts. So today, so far, we are a good $30 into this trip. Well worth it, because I have something crunchy to crunch on. I didn't have that in the van, and I have a soda which has caffeine. I could have had some coffee before I left this morning, but sometimes that just gives you kind of a weird tummy on the road, and no thank you, no thank you. Okay, it looks like to get to Trinidad, Colorado, I am 5 hours and 11 minutes away on my shortest route, and that's the way I've chosen to go. So 5 more hours in the van. Guys, we're going to Colorado, but I'm not just going to stay in Colorado. I have some other things I'm going to be doing. I'd love to go up here just to kind of cool off, because it is the quickest shot to higher altitudes that I can make. And also there's a lot of places that I can go to that I really enjoy. And so my goal is to go to Colorado and to see some new things there, because I've charted some new things that I've never checked out before. And then to check a few of those off the list, and then to move on to another higher altitude state where I can stay cooler. And so that's what we're going to be up to over the next, who knows how long. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to zip and zoom through several different states on this trip, and I have some really exciting things that I have in mind. Now, I didn't plan a whole itinerary. I never do. I like to kind of go with the flow. Also to have a few things that I know I want to do. And so with that, I have a couple of mountain passes that I've never been on that are van friendly. So that's going to be kind of cool. And then I have a couple other things that I'm going to hold a little bit closer to myself until we get there. But for now, I have scanned my receipts, so I'm going to dispose of them so I don't have extra trash. And I am ready to hit the road toward 5 hours and 11 minutes. Well, it's starting to rain just a little bit, so I'm sure that means it's kind of sticky outside, but hey, not bad. Okay, the skies are getting pretty interesting right now, and this guy in front of me is a double, so he hit wind while ago and kind of swerved, so I'm keeping a nice safe distance. So I had to go around kind of Amarillo. It was raining there. I was planning on stopping off at this new attraction that's in Amarillo. That's the Bug Ranch, not to be confused with the old Bug Ranch. This one's actually in Amarillo, and it's just brand new. They just got it all up and going, but it was pouring, and so I focused on the road, got up out of there, and now I'm somewhere in the middle of the Texas Panhandle on my way to a crossover into New Mexico that is over by Tex Line. And so this is actually a really nice area where there's some rolling hills as opposed to just flatness. There's lots of greenery out still because it's early enough in the year that everything hasn't turned to that brown yet. And so it's not bad with the cloud coverage and everything. It's not bad. Stretch break. I have now made it down to 2 hours and 11 minutes, which means I've been driving for 3 hours. I haven't stopped. So it is time for me to stop, to stretch, to stand, all the things. And I stopped at a Love's in, I think this is Dalhart, Texas. So I'm almost into New Mexico now. I've hit rain a couple times, but nothing too serious. But I have noticed that the wind has whipped me around, especially whenever truckers are passing. So that's been super fun. But not too bad overall. The drive itself coming this way is a little bit different than just going 40, and I kind of have enjoyed it because it's been a little less stressful overall, although I did see a wreck along the way, and it was a much smaller road, so for a minute there was a lot of confusion, but overall not too bad. I'm definitely ready for a stretch though. Pretty windy out there. 25.71 though for gas this time, so not too bad. I was pretty low once again, and that's about right. It's 289 here today, so it's going up as I'm getting closer and closer to New Mexico and Colorado. Well, I have changed over into mountain time, and welcome to New Mexico. The sign here is a lot smaller, so I didn't pull off to do a big to-do, but I'm in New Mexico. Yay! Cybertrucks in the wild. Bunches of them. Every time I come through this area, there's clouds. Lots and lots of clouds. So unfortunately what that means is I won't be able to stop at Capulet yet again. I've tried so many times. And with it being so hot and so sunny in Texas, I was not anticipating any of this. And the irony is, I checked the weather and there was no rain on the prediction. So I think it's just a sign. I'm not supposed to go to Capulet. At least not this time. Okay, we are leaving Raton. And straight ahead is Colorado with some pretty menacing clouds, I must say. My original thought was I was going to stay in Trinidad, and then I was like, no, I'm just going to power through to the next place. But with these clouds, it's going to get darker faster than it normally would, even though it's a summery day. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop in Trinidad, I think, and just call it an evening. I've been driving for a long time. That'll give me a good place to start off tomorrow, but at the same time, I won't feel overwhelmed or like I'm gonna have to potentially drive through some bad weather on some mountain roads. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh wow, oh wow. So I made it to Colorado and it is so chilly outside. It is fabulous. This morning whenever I left Texas, it was humid, it was sticky, it was, oh, it hurt my soul. And I've been doing that for days. And now, like, I have little goosebumps. Definitely gonna have to bust out the warmer stuff. I did bring some things though that I can layer, and that's why I always do. I brought a hoodie, I brought some warm pajamas, I brought some cooler pajamas because I may go someplace that's hot too. I brought all of those things, but I also brought along a sweater and some thicker socks, you know, all the stuff that you might need if it's chilly. And today, because I think the clouds are covering everything, whenever I checked the temperature, it said it was like 80 degrees in Trinidad today. It's definitely not, but it's because of these clouds, I think. So I'm so excited. I feel so much better, and like all of the struggle to get ready was definitely worth it. You know, today I have stopped off at 2 gas stations and spent approximately $25 at each one of them. It's been worth it. $50 to get to cooler climate definitely has been awesome. And I'm not even to where I'm going yet. I've got to still get to the actual Walmart, which again, I feel like it's a little early for that, but I don't know where to go. So I think what I'm gonna do is just make sure I park really far away from the building so I'm not in the way. I'm not gonna put up my window covers just yet, just in case, because you know, sometimes they don't want you to just look like you moved in. And I'm gonna respect the space, and then when it gets dark, I'll move to the back and put the window covers up. But for now, I'm almost there. Okay, I am home for the night. You can see lots of RVs are here, and it's pretty full. It's really windy here. I just kind of pulled off into the back corner. That's where I like to be whenever I pull into a Walmart, as far away from the store as possible, but also where I can, you know, if possible, have something beside me so that it's not like both sides are surrounded by people. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't, but today I got here and there's this nice little median area on this side, and then on the other side, somebody can probably park. I am assuming an RV will pull in here as it gets a little bit later though, because since I have been here, there's already been 4 additional RVs pull in, and I've only been here about 5-6 minutes. So this is gonna be an interesting evening. It's pretty windy right now. I'm hoping the wind lifts a little bit so that in the morning I'll be able to just like settle in a bit more with the journey and not feel like I'm fighting that all the way to my next destination. Who knows, maybe I'll even go on a little adventure. I'm really, really happy about being back on the road again, and I think that the joy that I have whenever I'm on the road is just transformative. On this particular trip, I'm going to be traveling solo, and a lot of people I know are really afraid of solo travel, but I look forward to the challenges that it brings, and I also enjoy just kind of being out in my element. And I always have contact with my friends, so I talk to Riley like all day. Additionally, I have, of course, Ladybug out, D. We're all in a group text together, and it works out pretty well for us to be able to get like tips as to, hey, have you camped here, or what would you suggest, stuff like that. And then we have some other adventure friends as well that, again, I may go and see on this trip. I'm not sure how that's going to work out yet, though. I'm not positive, but I look forward to the fun that is ahead. And I am just so giddy because it is not 4,000 degrees. They did say, though, whenever I stopped off in the store a while ago, that last week it was pretty warm here, and it's supposed to be pretty warm again, so I'm probably not going to stick around Trinidad very long. But there's a lot of really cool things in this area, so maybe I'll do something. We'll see. We'll see. But it's either here nor there. Thanks, guys, for coming along. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to sharing this entire series. I think we're going to have some fun. And if there's places that you've enjoyed going to in Colorado, remember, I always have an ongoing bucket list to add to. So let me know in the comments below what your favorite places were, if you had a cool campsite, whatever. I'm always looking forward to adding more places to that list. I come through here at least once every year, usually, and in doing so, I check a few things off each time, and it's really, really a delight just to see something beautiful, something different, something with mountains, something with so many flowing waters. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy. But with that said, guys, remember, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. Now that you know what's up, it's gonna be fun. Till next time, bye.